the legendary coach in Indiana, revered by everyone in the state, anyone who's ever been a Hoosier fan. A great introduction, calling Donald Trump the most prepared presidential candidate in history, and then giving us a very long joke, but the punchline made it worth it all. And, of course, Donald Trump taking a victory lap. Back with me, Carl, Jillian, Liz, and Ford. Ford, you're pretty familiar with Bobby Knight. This carries a lot of weight in that state?
Well, the General William Montgomery Knight is a god in the state of Indiana, and he couldn't have gotten a better seal of approval. He's a hard-nosed, blue-collar guy, and that's exactly who Donald Trump needs to win if he's going to win the state of Indiana next week. And frankly, the fact that Bob Knight's a throwback is really going to help convince other working-class voters in the primary that Donald Trump's their guy.
Real quick, Jillian. A lot of pressure on the governor of Indiana, Mike Pence, to step up and endorse Ted Cruz.
Yep.
Could that be the difference maker, and do you see it happening?
Well, I think that could potentially be the difference maker, but I actually think this is going to end up being much closer than most people say. I know there's not polling, but there are two things that I'm looking at here. The two big events in Indiana politics. You've got the Religious Freedom Act, which I think Ted Cruz can tap into that to appeal to a constituency, and the anti-establishment stuff that we saw come with the Dick Lugar ouster. And I think, you know, those are the voters that are up for grabs. Ted Cruz has been very aggressive. His PACs have been very aggressive in airing some of Trump's comments on abortion. I think it's going to resonate.
The anti-establishment stuff, Carl, Donald Trump overwhelmingly won that in exit polling on these last 5 states last night. Overwhelmingly.
Overwhelmingly. And, I mean, you look at what he just did. This is why Donald Trump will make the best next president, because I'll take your Carly Fiorina and I'll raise you Bobby Knight. And that is why Trump is going to be our president. Because
you even changed her last name to a breakfast cereal.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
I always screw up her last name.
How do you see it all shaking out? I mean, I think this is going to be really an exciting next week, next few days, rather, until next Tuesday, because this is make or break.
Yeah, again, I think he has a lot of momentum going into Indiana. How weird is it that this becomes a pivotal state and we have no polling of any account? It's amazing. But I really think the last couple of days, Cruz's effort to put together an alliance with John Kasich, which really didn't even look very good from the beginning.
Yeah, that was bad.
And now, I don't know anyone who thinks the Carly Fiorina idea was a good one. Yes, it may have stolen the news cycle away from Donald Trump today, but everyone else is saying, wait a minute, California, I mean, is that going to really be helpful to Ted Cruz? Is this something that really helps him in the general election? No. I think, honestly,
the thing is, a lot of people are saying he's got to get to the general election. He's got to get to the convention first and then the general election. Maybe
it looks like bad decision-making, and what Cruz has really been campaigning on was smarts.
Remember, sometimes when you're desperate, it's okay to look desperate, although the Kasich move was a mistake. You guys are fantastic.